Hi, welcome to my class Hashimoto's Healing Blueprint. I'm Sylvia Prajescu, and today we are starting at the foundation of what Hashimoto really is and what your thyroid actually does. Please bear with me for the next few minutes as we go into how thyroid hormones are made and converted. I don't want to overwhelm you. I just want you to understand what's really happening so that you can be your own advocate. Most doctors only order TSH and T4, which gives just part of the picture. To get the right tests, the ones that show how well your thyroid is working, you'll need to be able to explain why they matter. So when your doctor asks, why do you want this test? You will have the answer instead of saying, well, some lady online said so. I'll keep it simple. And I'll keep it practical. And I promise not to bore you. So bear with me for the next few minutes. When I was first diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I thought the levothyroxine pill will fix everything. My labs said normal, but I was feeling exhausted, foggy, losing hair, and felt like someone else had moved into my body. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Over the next half an hour, I'll help you see what really is happening beneath those lab numbers. How Hashimoto's is not just a thyroid condition, but an autoimmune imbalance that touches every system in your body. By the end of this session, you will understand how thyroid hormones are made, why the process can break down, and how to start linking your symptoms with what is happening inside your body. We are all unique individuals with our own experiences and paths in life. The way each of us develops an autoimmune disease is different. For me, I'm part of the first generation of immigrants, and the stress of adapting to a new culture and a new language put a real strain on my body. Add to that the long-term side effects of an acid-suppressing medication that I was prescribed by my doctor, and it became the perfect recipe for health issues. This is my story, but each of you has your own stories. When doctors told me I had Hashimoto's, the only tests they ran were TSH, T4, and T3, and based on those numbers, they prescribed levothyroxine, a medication that I take even today. No one went deeper to understand why my immune system has turned against me. No one mentioned diet, stress management, or the toxins that we face daily. My symptoms were dismissed over and over, and more than once I was told it was all in my head and I was handed antidepressants instead of answers. So I kept living the same way, with the same foods, the same diet, the same stress, until I developed a second condition, autoimmune gastritis. That was my turning point. I started reading, studying medical research, and taking classes to understand what was really happening. I remember the panic I felt when I realized my lifestyle was keeping me from healing. At first, I thought I'd have to live on air and water just to survive. Slowly, I shifted my mindset. I learned what foods were keeping inflammation alive in my body. I started managing stress, gently supporting my gut and liver, and step by step, I managed to calm my immune system and stop the progression of both diseases. I wrote From Pain to Wellness, Overcoming Autoimmune Diseases, an Undisclosed Epidemic, and I created this class to share what I've learned, so others don't have to feel as lost as I once did. Most people are told Hashimoto's is a thyroid problem, but in truth, it's an immune condition that happens to target the thyroid. Your thyroid role is to produce hormones that guide metabolism, energy, body temperature, and even mood. In Hashimoto's, the immune system misidentifies the thyroid as a threat and begins attacking its cells. Now, imagine the thyroid as a small bakery. Every morning it bakes bread for the entire town, and that bread, in this case, represents our thyroid hormones. But suddenly, the security guards meant to protect the bakery start smashing the ovens. The security guard in this case are your immune system. So less bread gets made and the whole town runs short on energy. If you give bread to people, they will get back some of the energy. But the question is, why do the guards attack the ovens in the first place? Doctors often prescribe hormone medication like levothyroxine or Synthroid, which can help. This can help if your thyroid has already been damaged by the immune attack. They give your body the hormones it can no longer make on its own. But few doctors ask the real question: why is our immune system attacking the thyroid? The hormone medication doesn't calm the immune system itself, which means the attack can quietly continue. That's why some people still feel tired, foggy, and anxious even when their labs look perfect. Medication can't always calm the immune system, and Hashimoto's begins there, not in the thyroid itself. Now, stop this video, take a few seconds now. Write down what your doctor told you at your diagnosis. Did they ever mention your immune system? Let's talk about how thyroid actually works. Your thyroid is like a small butterfly sitting at the base of your neck, but it has a huge impact on how you feel every day. It produces two main hormones, T4 and T3. About 80% of what it makes is T4, the inactive form. Think of T4 as the raw dough waiting to be baked. The remaining 20% is T3, the active form. So this is the bread that feeds your cell with energy. Most of the conversion from T4 to T3 doesn't happen inside the thyroid at all. It happens in your liver and gut. If either of those organs, liver or gut, is inflamed, sluggish, or overloaded with toxins, the conversion slows down. When conversion works well, your cells receive the T3 they need to keep your metabolism, temperature, mood, and focus in balance. But when it doesn't, T4 can take a detour and become reverse T3, which acts like a brake. It fits into the same receptors as T3, but doesn't activate it, leaving you tired, cold, foggy, even if your blood tests look normal. Think of it like this. T4 is the paycheck, it's in the bank. T3 is the cash that you can spend, so this is the energy. And reverse T3 is the counterfeit bill, this you cannot use it. Stress, inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, and certain medication can all push that conversion towards reverse T3. Now stop the video and pause for a second and think about your own symptoms. Are they more like an energy shortage, like fatigue, cold hands, slow digestion, or more like a stress response, like anxiety, heart racing, restless sleep? Each one gives you clues about how well this conversion is happening in your body. We've covered what Hashimoto's is, how your thyroid works, and why that process can break down. By now, you've seen how thyroid hormone production and conversion depend on more than medication or the lab numbers. This module connects that biology to the daily patterns that either heal or hinder your thyroid. Now, let's step into what keeps it from healing and what can gently restore that balance. The first foundation is stress and recovery. When cortisol rises for too long, your body shifts into survival mode. It slows metabolism, produces more reverse T3, which is the brake hormone, and less T3. This is why constant rushing or emotional tension can make your thyroid symptoms worse, even with perfect labs. Notice when your body feels on alert, like tight shoulders, racing mind, shallow breath. These are signals to pause. Sometimes simple recovery habits like deeper breathing, grounding, walks, or quiet time before bed help cortisol settle and hormone conversion improve. Deep sleep is part of this foundation as well. During deep sleep, the immune system resets and tissue repair happens. Poor sleep increases inflammation and disrupts thyroid hormone conversion. Create small rituals like dim lights, limit screens, a warm magnesium bath, consistent bedtime. The second foundation is nutrition and energy intake. Many people unknowingly undereat or fast for too long. When the body senses shortage, it slows metabolism to conserve energy. Make sure you're eating enough to support thyroid and immune repair, not just cutting calories. Nutrients like zinc, selenium, magnesium, and B vitamins act as cofactors for hormone conversion and energy production. The third foundation is liver and gut function. The liver and gut are where most of your T4 becomes T3. When these organs are inflamed or sluggish, conversion falters. Support them with whole foods, hydration, and gentle detox habits, not to the extremes. The fourth foundation is systemic load. Chronic illness, infections, inflammations, or low iron. Iron carries oxygen to your cells and also helps your body use thyroid hormones efficiently. When inflammation or anemia persist, even the best diet cannot keep up. Healing is never about one supplement or one diet change. It's about restoring all four foundations together. Mindset and self-compassion are equally important. Autoimmune healing isn't about perfection. It's about consistency and grace. Unfortunately, many of us blame our bodies for failing us. But your body isn't broken. It's protecting you the way it knows how. Each choice, the walk, the meal, the early bedtime, is a vote for healing. Your action step for this week is to pick one area you know needs care. Maybe it's eating enough, maybe better sleep, maybe replenishing minerals. Small corrections compound over time. Now that you understand how thyroid hormones work, let's look at what that can feel like day to day. Stop this video, take a moment to list your top 3 symptoms, maybe fatigue, brain fog, weight changes, or anxiety. Then we'll look at how they might connect to thyroid function. When energy feels low, it can sometimes reflect that your cells aren't using thyroid hormones efficiently. Even if the thyroid is producing T4, factors like stress, gut health, or nutrient status can limit its conversion to active T3. Hair thinning or shedding can occur when nutrient stores such as iron or ferritin are low, or when autoimmune activity affects body thyroid tissue and hair follicles. Feelings of restlessness or anxiety can arise when stress hormones like cortisol are high. Elevated cortisol can temporarily alter how the body uses thyroid hormone and increase reverse T3, which competes with active T3 for receptor sites. This creates a wired but tired pattern. Brain fog and mood changes sometimes appear where inflammation or low T3 affect how the brain uses energy and produces neurotransmitters. Low T3 reduces brain glucose utilization and mitochondrial function. Inflammation raises cytokines that impair cognition. Weight changes and cold hands or feet often trace back to slower metabolism. The body conserves energy when thyroid signaling is reduced. T3 directly regulates basal metabolic rate. Low levels slow fat oxidation and glucose metabolism. Depression often traces back to low T3 levels or gut inflammation that impacts neurotransmitters like serotonin. Thyroid hormones modulate serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. Gut inflammation can alter tryptophan metabolism and neurotransmitter balance. So, to sum it up, your thyroid makes mostly T4, but your body decides whether that becomes active T3 or inactive reverse T3. When you are well nourished, calm, and your gut and liver are working smoothly, more T4 turns into T3, the form that supports energy, metabolism, and focus. But when stress is high, calories are too low, or inflammation is present, then the body shifts in towards reverse T3, which is slowing things down to conserve energy. It's your body's way of saying, I need to rest, not to rush. Understanding this helps connect the dots between daily habits and how you actually feel. Remember, these links aren't meant to diagnose anything. They simply help you notice how symptoms may relate to hormone balance, stress, and nutrient patterns. Now that you've seen how symptoms connect to thyroid function, it's time to map your own. Take a blank page or print the worksheet for this module. Write down your top 3 symptoms. Next to each one, note what might influence it: stress, sleep, gut issues, nutrient gaps. This isn't about guessing a diagnosis, it's about awareness. When you start noticing patterns like fatigue after poor sleep or more hair loss during high stress, you gain real insight. Over the next week, keep a small daily log: energy level, mood focus, sleep quality, meals or supplements. By the end of the week, you will see how lifestyle and stress affect your thyroid story. You've just completed Module 1, Understanding Hashimoto's and Your Thyroid. Congratulations! Here's what you've learned so far. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition that affects the thyroid but begins in the immune system. The thyroid makes mostly T4, which must convert to active T3. That conversion depends on the liver, gut, stress levels, and key nutrients. When conversion falters, symptoms appear long before labs change. You've also begun connecting your symptoms to this mechanism. Keep that awareness worksheet handy. It becomes your baseline for the next modules. In Module 2, we'll move from awareness to measurement. You'll learn how labs truly matter, how to interpret results beyond TSH, and which nutrients influence hormone balance. For now, take a breath. Let this information settle. Healing begins with understanding your body, and you're already doing that. Thank you for participating in Module 1, and see you in Module 2.